I often get asked about making yeast doughs and working with yeast in general. So I'm here to give you some great tips to build your confidence so you get into the kitchen and make some bread doughs. Now, when it comes to working with yeast, there are 3 basic styles. First, you have fresh yeast. And some people swear it's the only yeast to use in a pizza dough. Now, you measure this by weight and it needs to be dissolved in tepid water. The next common type of yeast you find is called traditional yeast. And it's got a coarse grain to it, and just like the fresh yeast, it needs to be dissolved in water first to activate it. Now lastly here, I have instant yeast. It's got a really fine granule to it, and you can just toss it in with your flour and your other ingredients, and away you go. If you're buying your dry yeast in a jar, once you open that jar, you should keep it in the fridge. So I'm going to make a quick little dough. I have some water that is just above my body temperature, and I'll measure in my traditional yeast. The mixture does turn all cloudy, and you won't see an immediate reaction. This style of yeast just needs a minute or 2 to dissolve. By now, my yeast has fully dissolved, and I'll pour this in my bowl. And I'm ready to add my flour. That gives the yeast something to feed on. I'll give that a little stir. And there you have it, the basic principles behind yeast. Now you can make your bread with confidence.